Level.
Simply because I'm not a fortune teller or a future teller, but a past teller. 1-1.
We did just see them win the US Smash. I mean the Europe Smash.
No, I'm good at predicting the past. Good times here. The Germans. Second serve here.
2-love.
So adaptable as well, aren't they, this Chinese pair?
Yeah, I think they have so many ingredients here. They're so well prepared.
3-love.
Just more evidence of that. We saw Lin Shidong earlier today against Omar Asar looking nearly unstoppable. And Omar played some spectacular rallies. Kuai here with a parallel out of reach.
Love 4.
First meeting as well between these two partnerships. And what can we expect from Kaufmann and Franziska in order to impose themselves on this match?
Short game is going to be very important. Receive.
Love 5.
And in the touch game here, as you can see, this one popped up a bit. It's good variation from the Chinese pair to continue their streak. We got two very tall players on the German side, so wingspan will not be a shortcoming of theirs, but compactness, speed, staying near the table is going to be crucial. For me, that means taking some risks early. Kaufmann with the spin shot into the middle there, just to change of pace.
Five, 2.
Can you afford, though, to take risks if you are playing the world #1 pairing?
You can't afford... Oh, I'm sorry, if you're the world #1 pairing?
Against the world #1 pairing.
You can't afford not to. That's the thing.
3, 5.
It's sort of simple, but whenever you're playing someone who's expected to beat you, if you come out and play your average game, you can expect the average result. This is such a good long push. Franz deep into that wide. Check this out. Wide backhand side. Knocks Lin Shidong off balance. Gets a passive shot back. Much tighter game now.
And that's exactly what we saw Annette Kaufmann doing in her women's doubles yesterday alongside Yang Liu. She was so good at putting away these big forehand winners.
Step around. This is one of the advantages of having a righty-lefty combo. It's easier to get out of the way while still playing a quality shot with your forehand. 5 in a row for the German pair from down 0-5.
5, 6.
Well, it's not been the best of days for Team China, has it?
Yeah, I feel like best month even. It's been some time. Obviously, there's been some success. Tong Tong doing quite well. 6 of the last 8 points, the German pair.
7, 5.
Consolidating their lead now, and this is really impressive stuff with a lot of ground made up after that lightning quick start from the Chinese pair.
This is one of the many factors that's made Patrick Franziska so dangerous, is his confidence and looseness. Again, when you've got that wingspan, you think side to side, but it's 360 degrees. He can reach out in front, and he does that very well.
7, 6.
He was involved in an absolute belter in the men's singles yesterday against Matthias Falk.
Yeah, and this one here, Kuai doing the same thing we've seen Annette Kaufmann do. Step around to play the forehand wide out of reach. 2 times in a row now. It's gone out to the wide forehand. Franz was turning the corner, anticipating a shot cross table, but she does the less likely shot, and it pays off. Short side, and he's burned. Oh, man. Leave early. Go ahead. I dare you.
7, 8.
And is just so effective, isn't she? Getting these shots finished off. I really like watching her play. She's really exciting.
Yeah, she's very stable. Again, for someone as young as she is at only 19 years old, she's already been given all the faith from the German program.
9, 7.
Excellent chemistry as well, this German pair. And to say they only started playing together last year as well. It's amazing how quickly they've gelled.
And it all starts there with that soft touch in to leave Kuai reaching across the table from the forehand. She has to push deep there to the backhand side.
9, 8.
Been a topsy-turvy first game here. From down 0-5, the German pair scored 7 in a row. And a change of patterns here. Kuai says, you think you know where I'm going? Guess again.
8-10.
And it's 2 game points for this German pair. And this is certainly not part of the plan for the world #1 pairing.
Patrick Franziska, even back in Tokyo with Patrice Solia, another left-handed German, came very close to beating the eventual gold medalists. So we know that he's got a lot of experience. He's strong in doubles, and with the strong lefty beside him, it's 2 game points for the Germans on receive.
And Kaufmann doing what she does best. That's a trademark. Interesting to see how game number 2 pans out. Well, it's not the start they would have wanted.
It's not the it's not the common shot to see Lin Shidong chopping. Good adjustment here, well played. Franz reading it perfectly to go deep to the forehand.
1-1.
It's a nice touch from Kuai.
Yeah, the speed game here with short strokes. Lin Shidong and Kuai there. Again, with taller players on the other side, targeting that elbow, the middle.
1-2.
It's not always going to be the answer, but it will be a target. And as we've seen Kuai do very successfully in game number 1, she's picked her places, when to go out to the wide forehand, when to hit middle.
3-1.
Or even in some cases to step around and play it out of reach cross table.
Oh, lethal from Lin Shidong.
The power that he gets with such a short stroke is just unbelievable. Again, if you looked at the guy, you wouldn't imagine he would have so much power in his shots.
1-5.
But timing, using the body correctly, this is our sport. And again, he's solid. His nickname is Stone, mostly because Shidong sounds like Chateau, which is a poor pronunciation of the Chinese word for stone.
One, 6.
Well, Kaufmann looking down at her racket as if to search for some answers there as to how she didn't manage to clear the net. It's a 5-point lead for the top seeds, but they had that 5-point lead in game 1, didn't they?
Sure did.
6-2.
They did for a moment, and then 7 points later, they were down 5-7. I cannot expect the same. Ooh, that emoji right there. Ooh. Lin Shidong giving us some good faces there.
7-2.
Second time for Annette Kaufmann into the net.
We have to remember it's the order of play that has now changed. So Annette Kaufmann receiving those serves. 2 in a row, reverse pendulum. Kuai causing some trouble. But the pressure that's on Annette Kaufmann is also not just keeping it on the table, but keeping it uncomfortable for one of the most powerful players in the world.
2-9.
Some really explosive stuff in that rally. Kuai and Lin coming out on top, forcing the Germans into really uncomfortable positions.
Yeah, it'll be a fine balance every time of risk assessment, how much spin, how much arc to put on the ball, but a very different scoreline than we saw after that 5-point lead in game 1. It's 8 game points now for the world #1 pair.
And that is probably the response that we should have expected.
Which did favor the German pair.
1 love.
Perfect setup, the short game. You asked me in the beginning what it would take for the German pair, and we're seeing it out here in the third game. Touch, touch, and then the flick to get in aggressively inside the table. Keep the opponents guessing, a step behind the table. Easier said than done, but so far, done well.
1-2.
Curse of the commentator, but the first 2 points for the German pair following such a strategy.
2-2.
Now, this was the serve that was causing Annette Kaufmann some trouble in game number 2. And this time it's Franz on the receive playing it passively, and Lin Shidong showing what he can do with a passive ball for a third ball attack.
3-2.
Nicely done. That's the Annette Kaufmann that we know. She was so effective with shots like that in that women's doubles match alongside Yang Zilio to defeat Linda Bergstrom and Christina Scharberg, the Swedish pair.
3-3.
Perfect placement on this and heavy spin, stretching Annette Kaufmann out, trying to get her to move over into the space that would eventually be needed on the next ball by Franz. If she turns for the forehand there, she still has space, but that's a perfectly placed ball. It keeps you guessing on the other side.
Well, Kuai was so solid there, wasn't she? Just couldn't hang on enough in the end, coming under constant pressure from Kaufmann.
Yeah, I think Annette Kaufmann to go deep to the backhand, play the short side of the table behind the movement. Really took some risks there, right near the thick of the blue.
Kuai won't be beaten twice.
Yeah, the forehand flick, such a crucial shot. Both sides have this in their repertoire. It's a lot of spin coming in from Lin Shidong behind the table. Franz with a big save on the move here. Hits it behind him with side and top spin from way under the table. Lin Shidong produces that. Yeah, Chole, Choa indeed. It's a beautiful shot produced by the world number 1.
6-4.
Well, is this a turning point now in game number 3, now that the top seeds have got their noses slightly ahead?
This is the first time I can recall someone pushing long to Lin Shidong off of that reverse pendulum serve where it worked out in their favor. That could be a fault of my memory, but between Annette Kaufmann on receive in game 2 and Patrick Franziska pushing on the receive, last time around it worked out for Lin Shidong and Kuai.
5-7.
Great serving from Kuai.
Yeah, this is something different here. Patrick Franziska saying, I'm willing to cross over here to get that backhand in for a bit more spin. So it was a gamble, but in some senses, I think the facial expression basically says he counted on himself to at least make the shot. That's what the backhand was about, more spin, less risk.
6-7.
Love the quality of the rallies here. The exchanges from behind the table took a lot of high-quality shots. We've seen it time and time again from Kuai and Lin Shidong. And of course, after taking the first game, Patrick Franziska and Annette Kaufmann as well.
6-7.
But again, just a reminder, we're watching world number 1 for Team China versus world number 57.
8-6.
And it's close. It's really tight. That is the backhand here. Lin Shidong putting himself in position first, then setting the wrist back. Feet are the first to get there. Sets up camp.
Please don't use flash.
Making sure that the teammates have good vision here. No distractions, flashes in the crowd.
8-7.
Well, it was that brilliant ball placement from Franziska that really sort of set up the problems for the Chinese.
And then a little bit more off the net there. And a timeout now from Xiao Zhan. Game number 2 is quite one-way traffic, favoring the world number 1s with the serves here.
7-9.
Brilliantly done, inspired play from Kuai.
Yeah, after all that talk, the little bit that I heard, this was wonderful short touch to leave it dangerously close to that side of the table on the backhand for Franz.
7-10.
And that's 3 game points then.
Well,
the timeout cashed in, 11 points to 7. A lot of pressure on her given the results for the Chinese players today.
1 love.
Some of them anyway.
Yeah, Lin Shidong holding his own in that regard as well, with a lot of pressure, men exiting the event. We'll talk about that. Lots of matches left today.
1-1.
Well, this is a must-win, Kaufmann and Franziska. They are to remain in this match. How do you think they'll cope with the pressure here?
It's a question of time, but I think they'll do their best. I think they'll adjust, take their chances. Play fearlessly, but with focus. It's a fine balance. It's easy to get in your head when you look down from the tightrope. But I think they know at this level what gets the best performances out of them.
1-3.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff from the Germans. Lin Shidong looked as though he had that rally won, didn't he?
Lin. Two, three.
Good variation here. Kuai with a deep push right to the baseline. I think tactically, Annette Kaufmann and Patrick Franziska are just simply trying to be very decisive early on so that they get in position, less backswing, full commitment where they can, just to be a little bit faster and keep their positioning closer to the table. They both have power. Annette has a wonderful backhand, Patrick Franziska the same, and we've seen them on the forehands. They're just dealing with the best pair in the world right now. Look at that coverage there. Kuai with a Patrick Franziska below the table drive is able to simply control it uncomfortably back.
3-4.
Extra spin from Lin Shidong behind the table. It's been tough for both to contain, and a timeout now on the German side.
4-4.
Well, Kaufmann looked as though she was caught off balance there, recovered well.
Exactly. Turns, spinned it up shallowly, a little bit of an awkward ball. Something just to break the rhythm there.
Well,
Bit of net along the way. Again, just the subtlest change of trajectory can be enough to throw the rhythm.
5-5.
But this time recovered. Something similar this time around. Kuai and Lin Shidong, as you mentioned, incredibly adaptable, and it's leveled here at 5 points apiece.
Kuai stomps the feet in frustration. And she sends that one long.
Six.
Well, what is going to prove to be the difference in game number 4? The German timeout hasn't yielded the same kind of results as China's did, so far anyway. Still plenty of time left to go. But China, after their timeout, they were just dominant, raced through the points.
That said, they have won more points than their opponents here, coming back from their timeout.
6-7.
So the majority, not necessarily dominant, but a fair ratio that they can afford. If they continue with this ratio, they will see game number 5. Oh, surprise, surprise, he hits it behind him. That is crazy. Patrick Franziska pulled a 360, watch him. Spin, comes back up, wide to the forehand, and without looking, it looked like he was looking at the short side of the table, and he hits it about 4 feet to the left of where his eyes were looking. Wow.
9-6.
Momentum swing then.
6 points for the German pair since the timeout. Only 2 for the world number 1s. 6 of the last 8.
6-10.
And that is 4 game points then, this to send us to a decider here. It's been a real confident, resilient game for the Germans.
Seven, 10.
3 more game points still to play with.
Quite a receive by Kaufmann this time around. The reverse pendulum that had haunted both her and Franz on receive. She gets aggressive here. Perfectly on the parallel. Lin Shidong plays it shallow, spinny, keeps it low to save another game point. 2 saved, 2 more to go for the German pair to send this to where they must go if they are to win, or at least have a chance. Game 5 to decide it.
Oh, Franziska, he does it at the 3rd time of asking.
Franziska. Love 1.
Wow.
I'd like to tell you that one pattern of play favors a certain side much more than the other, but they've each won a game in each order of play. That said, the most dominant game was this order of play for the Chinese pair. They won 11-2 in game 2.
1-2.
And were beaten 11-8 in this order of play. So when they get to 5 points, or at least one side gets to 5 points, they will switch sides and the order of play to keep things balanced. Shuang Yu, double fish table there.
2-2.
Well, there was some talk about the Kuai serve in the break of games there, and that's been a real weapon, hasn't it, for the top seeds?
I was thinking about TTR in general. It's come in quite handy in some matches in righties versus lefties. I think it'll come up more and more.
2-3.
But in doubles of any type, mixed doubles, men's or women's doubles, you must serve on the right side of the table on the diagonal. So that means from a view standpoint, it's a little bit different.
3-3.
Brilliant serving from Patrick Franziska. Lin Shidong couldn't really get a read on that.
Heavy, heavy underspin. Subtle, well disguised. Tested the short forehand part of the table. Annette Kaufmann leaves it inside just behind the net for Kuai to cross over, play that forehand flick right into where Franz is standing. Oh, this is too good. The quality of shot, Franz getting low for this. Annette Kaufmann goes parallel with the follow-up. At least tries. It was Lin Shidong on the parallel, hitting an unreturnable shot.
4-5.
Well, Franziska did really well there with the step around, didn't he? But Annette Kaufmann just couldn't sustain that rally.
Well, you could tell by the follow-through that he was jammed up. He had to play it very cautiously to pull up. Couldn't play a lot of power, just a bit of spin. So it wasn't an easy ball on either side. But the world number one's world number one for a reason. So they switch sides of the table. And with that, the order of play as well. Second serve here for Annette Kaufmann with a new receiver this time around, Lin Shidong.
5-5.
It was a lovely touch play before Lin Shidong decided to attack and found the net instead.
So the attack here, opener by Annette Kaufmann getting the net. A little bit of fortune why the German pair apologizes here.
Real firepower from Franziska.
We talked about the order of play And point for point, this is the order of play that has favored the German pair ever so slightly.
7-5.
I take that back. That said, they're playing wonderfully right now. This is the same order of play as games number 2 and 4. So, I would say the Chinese pair prefer this order of play. This is why I took back my statement. 2-point ball game out of the second towel break. And it's Patrick Franziska trying to set up a third ball for Annette Kaufmann here.
Seven, 6.
I'm just curious. Patrick Franziska won a point with an outright serve, heavy underspin to Lin Shidong before. It almost makes you wonder if he could have the same results against Kuai, if she would have adapted based on her partner's result. Kuai on the move. How does she play that ball right off the bounce? She didn't come settled. She didn't get her feet planted. She was way out. Look at this sliding through. From this camera angle, it doesn't look nearly as impressive, but she's right on the baseline of the table for that ball. You can see how it affected Annette Kaufmann. Very little time to react, and it's now 7s across the board. Beautiful inside-out flick. The forehand of Franz comes across the ball into the wide forehand of the lefty. Gets her to cross over. Touch play. Just a little height on that. And to guide that ball, that is such a high-risk shot under pressure. And it sets up a 1-point lead for the receiving German pair.
Let. 7, 8.
I like that. Let. Don't hear that from the players too much. Confidence from Kaufmann.
And that was real confidence from Kaufmann as well.
That said, the answer once again, Lin Shidong on the other side of the table. Man, that's a quick reaction. Not just to play a quality shot back, but in a place where Patrick Franziska has to lean to try and get out of the way.
8, 9.
Well, these are nervy moments, aren't they, as we draw towards the end of game number 5, and with it, the match. This has been a fascinating decider. The lead changing between both pairs.
10, 8.
Well, a stroke of fortune for the top seeds as they earn themselves 2 match points.
Yeah, you could see here how flustered the German pair was by this double happiness, net and edge. This is not a recoverable shot. Yeah, the German pair had their share of fortune, even in game 5, but this was a little bit extra special, and it sets up 2 match points for the number 1 seeds.
Ten, 8.
Kaufmann into the net, and it's Lin Shidong Kuai who advance through to the quarter-final.